No, it was the Archangel Michael who admonished John not to worship him because he, like him, was a fellow servant. And yes, I just covered that. He rebuked him. Now, it was in the Revelation. What was Michael revealing to John? He was revealing the churches were of the devil. Now, there were 7 at the time that were all established by the Apostle Paul. Moving on to the next slide, these churches were set up by Paul in Turkey. They were set up in the name of Jesus. Now, Paul was Saul. Look up the concordance and you will find that Saul is how many words away from Satan?
1 and 2.
1 and 2 words away from Satan. He was a false...
Also the 7 churches in Turkey, the Turkish that immigrated into Russia become the Khazar Jews.
Mm. So the ills of today, the slave planet, the murderers who are in control today, all stem from the Apostle Paul. It's in a nutshell. He was self-appointed. He was the devil that Jesus warned us, those who were with him at the time. He warned us about him. He said that one would come after him who would teach things that he did not teach and pervert the things that he did teach, and that he would be a devil. That was Paul. Moving right along. Now, 144,000, I'm talking to you, we are talking to you. This is Mother speaking. Bottom line is it's a waste of time to speak to any churchgoer. Just next. Brian's favourite 4-letter word is next. You know that. Aside from the other one.
Second.
Second. It's his second favourite word. You all know the first one. The anagram for what is it? Acronym, not anagram. That's a new. And that's God speak. Acronym.
Well, you certainly fucked that up.
I did. Acronym for fornication under consent of the king, aka FUG. Okay. It is the uneducated in church doctrine, meaning those who have stayed away from the churches or took a quick look and got out of there, who have
Well, the ones who happen to look up at the sky in Los Angeles and see the chemtrails has been there for the last 10 years or so.
Yes. Who have a gut feeling that it's satanic. They're the ones that you'll be able to talk plainly to. The man in the street, the person who, as Brian says, been looking up in the skies and wondering, how the hell did we get to this? And look, take a look, for all the good of all their praying and their worshipping Jesus in their churches, we are at the fullness of it, as in the days of Noah. That's how bad it is. So where has their religion and their worshipping got the planet today? It has got us further along.
Has there been one minister speaking about the chemtrails, or one minister talking about the poisons in the food? How about the vaccinations?
Yes.
Is there one?
We're talking about from the pulpit here. There are
From the
some who
pulpit.
have come away.
Has any? I haven't heard one.
No. No, your church is a social class, and it's all about money. Anyway. Okay, now, moving right along in the understanding here of what God does. Okay, English was intended to be the key to reveal miracles in the end time. That's the time now. English is the universal language. Now, as Jesus, Yahweh, did not write anything, nor did he compel any one of us to concoct the writing of a New Testament. What it says in the New Testament... That
is why the angel had to show up.
That's
96 AD.
In 96 AD. It was so corrupt then, but so what's in the New Testament is all open, because as you said, there was nobody around with a recorder. So it's all open for speculation. What did he really say? Did he? Every time I come up with something that's in, he says to me, did he? That is all open, but what he's saying is the numbers are not. It's the numbers. All people understand numbers. No matter where you are on the planet, numbers are understood. That is the universal language. It's the language of the universe. Okay. The New Testament was a lure for Lucifer to compel its demons to influence men in positions of power, to control all members to follow their New Testament. In doing so, the track was being set. Again, as I explained already earlier, we're going along in time. Then comes along the media and mass communication, the internet. The reality is everyone in the world has spoken the name Jesus at some time or another, albeit mostly while swearing. And I'm quoting here, how many of you have said or heard say, Jesus fucking Christ, in anger, frustration? So the track is in the 1832. It's 1830, isn't it? Well, thereabouts. It's 1830 concordance. Sure it is. I can see the zero on the end of it. Anyway.
I always leave one mistake for
I
you.
know, it's for us to find. It's an aid for scholars, a study guide where all Hebrew, Aramaic, Chaldee words of the Old Testament are numbered in an ordered alphabetical dictionary, and is now generally available in most English-speaking libraries. You can go and find one there. If you're going to buy one, I urge all 140, go and buy your own. Make sure it is the 1830s James Strong's.
Just make sure when you look in Hebrew, there's got 8674 words in it,
Yes, yeah.
and 5624 in the New Testament. Otherwise, they have changed it.
Yes.
You can't do it on the internet.
Okay, going back, reiterating the Lucifer New Testament as a dictionary. It's all in that same James Strong concordance. It's now the word total is only 5,624 words in the New Testament. The difference is 3,050 words, which means Yah is removed. So in other words, the New Testament deliberately removed Yah, who is the creator, Yahweh. Brian pronounces it Jah. I think the correct way to pronounce it. We're going to have a new language very shortly. It's already evolving. It's called God Speak. Things no longer go viral on the net, they go feral. Okay, so Yah is missing from the New Testament, and so the code begins to speak. Now that's a clue right there. Yah is missing from the New Testament. Hello! Yet the word Lord is found in, listening for this number again, you've heard it already in this video, 6,666 times. So that's 6666 verses. That's in 6666 verses of the original King James Version, 1611. Then along comes 1878, when it was discovered that the King James Version, 1611, it all aligned with astronomy, and the Bible was changed. But the change was kept secret from the masses. So after that time, people were thinking they were getting an original 1611, when in fact they weren't.
It was King James and Edward de Vere, who was William Shakespeare, that edited the manuscript given to them by Francis Bacon and had been translated by 47 Freemason scholars. And the king wouldn't sign it until they edited.
Well, he read it.
He read it. And he altered it. They were in such a tither.
It took, he took 18 months to do it.
And then he handed it back to them because they then rushed it to press without checking it.
Yes.
And it wasn't until 1878 that they found
realised
that there was all these codes in it. Because the king himself was anointed upon the rock of the Scone, the first king of England to be anointed upon the rock of the Scone.
Right. Jacob's pillar.
Of the true royal line.
That's right. Judah. Okay, so you're getting the drift? Right. Okay, here we go. Brian's saying if a Bible basher is serious about study, they use the concordance. This is true. But the Bible is not the original. Today, there are many translations beckoning the innocent, saying they are the true representative of Christ. There's hundreds of translations. Hundreds and hundreds of them. And it was, a comment was left on our site about the Geneva Bible being older than the King James and it being the true Bible. Wrong. Absolutely